The galaxy had always feared the Deathworlder Armada. Every species knew their name. Humans were born on a deadly world, trained by nature itself to survive anything. Their ships were strong, their soldiers were brave, and their victories were countless. Many alien empires had tried to stop them, but none had succeeded. But on this quiet day, something happened that no one expected. At the edge of the Orion line, a small alien listening post picked up a strange signal, an old human distress call. The operators froze. Humans never sent distress calls. Humans rescued others. They did not ask for help. Commander Ral'Tor, an older alien with silver scales and tired eyes, stepped closer to the screen. He had fought humans long ago. He knew their power. He knew their rage. And he knew that if humans were calling for help, then something terrible had happened. That he ordered the star map to zoom in. There was a giant human dreadnought, the Iron Resolve, was drifting slowly through space. No engines. No lights. No movement. Its armor was torn open, like some huge creature had bitten into it. Sparks floated out of the cracks like dying fireflies. Ral'Tor felt a cold shiver run through his body. How can this be? He whispered. The Iron Resolve had survived wars that destroyed entire moons. It had fought pirates, monsters, and fleets bigger than cities. But now, it looked dead. Then the speakers crackled with life. A weak recording played, broken, damaged, full of fear. This is Captain Arden Holt. The Armada has faced something impossible. Do not, repeat, do not approach. The message ended with screams, and then silence. The entire listening post went quiet. No one knew what to say. They could hear their own hearts beating. Ral'Tor felt something he had not felt in many years. True fear that if the Deathworlder Armada, the strongest force in known space, had been defeated, then nothing was safe. No planet. No species. No army. He stared again at the wrecked dreadnought and thought of the old stories. Humans were the fighters of the galaxy. They never retreated. They never cried for help. And now they were silent. Something was wrong. Something dangerous. Something ancient. And whatever destroyed the human dreadnought was still out there. Ral'Tor closed his eyes for a moment. Then he gave the order that would change everything. Prepare a scout team. We must know what killed the humans. He did not know it yet, but this was only the beginning. The real nightmare had not even started. The news of the destroyed human dreadnought spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every council, every empire, every species felt the same cold fear. If humans could lose, then anyone could fall. In the center of the Galactic Council Hall, leaders from a dozen species gathered. Their voices shook, their eyes were worried, and none of them wanted to say the truth out loud. The Deathworlder Armada had suffered its first defeat, and they had no idea what caused it. After hours of shouting and confusion, they made a decision. Send a recon force to investigate the disaster zone. 3 fleets were chosen. 1 from the Voss, 1 from the Kethari, and 1 from the Shuun. Together, they traveled toward the last known position of the Iron Resolve. Commander Ral'Tor was placed in charge. He felt the weight of fear on his shoulders, but he also felt responsibility. He had seen the human distress message. He knew something terrible was waiting for them. When the fleets arrived, their scanners lit up at once. More wreckage. More human ships. 5 massive warships, each one torn open like they were paper. No signs of explosions. No signs of laser burns. No signs of enemy technology. It was as if something had swallowed parts of the ship's hull. The silence of space felt heavy. Even the communication officers whispered, afraid their voices might attract whatever did this. Then a small alarm beeped. They had found a human escape pod. Ral'Tor ordered the pod brought aboard his ship immediately. Inside was a single human soldier, barely alive. His armor was cracked, his breathing weak, and his body shaking from pain and fear. Humans were known for their strength. Seeing one in this condition felt unreal. Ral'Tor kneeled beside him and asked softly, "What happened to your fleet?" The soldier did not answer at first. His eyes looked past Ral'Tor as if seeing something still haunting him. Then he whispered one word. "Leviathan." Before Ral'Tor could ask more, every sensor on the ship went dark. The lights flickered. The screens went blank. The floor shook. A shadow slowly passed over the fleets. Outside the windows, space twisted like liquid. A massive shape appeared, something ancient, immense, and alive. Its surface glowed like molten metal, its movements slow and terrifying. It was not a ship. It was not a beast. It was something in between. The Leviathan. The recon fleets tried to activate their shields, but nothing worked. Communications died. Engines failed. A deep, rumbling sound filled the air, like the growl of a planet-sized predator. Ral'Tor stared in horror. Humans had fought this thing. Humans had faced it and survived long enough to send a warning. But now, as the Leviathan opened its glowing maw, he realized something. This creature was not finished. It was hunting. And they were next. The Leviathan moved through space like a living storm. Its body bent light, twisted gravity, and broke every rule known to science. The three alien fleets had no chance. One wave of its energy washed over them, and half their ships went dark instantly. Commander Ral'Tor held onto the railing as alarms screamed around him. Panels sparked. Engines failed. Crew members panicked. Yet through the chaos he watched the monster carefully. He finally understood why the humans had lost. The Leviathan did not attack with weapons. It attacked by changing space itself. Ships were crushed, stretched, or sliced open by invisible forces. No shields worked. No armor helped. It was like fighting a star that had decided to kill. Ral'Tor gave the only order he could. Retreat. Save whoever can escape. But before his fleet fled, something unexpected appeared. A bright flash. A hyperspace ripple. A fleet, no, a massive armada, dropped out of warp. The Deathworlder Armada. Hundreds of human warships surrounded the battlefield, moving with cold, controlled precision. Their hulls were black and sharp, glowing with angry red and blue lines. The survivors from the alien fleets cheered with relief. If anyone could face this monster, it was the humans. At the center of the human formation stood the flagship Horizon Breaker, commanded by Admiral Celeste Ward, a legend among humans feared across the galaxy. Her voice echoed through every channel. This is Admiral Ward. All units, defensive sphere formation. We will not let this creature escape again. Her tone was steady, but deep inside she knew the truth. They had already faced this enemy once, and almost died. The Leviathan turned toward the humans as if recognizing them. A low rumble spread through space, a soundless roar that shook every ship. Humans answered with fire. Thousands of rail cannons fired at once, creating a storm of metal slugs traveling faster than sound. Plasma beams cut through the void. Missiles streaked like falling stars. But the Leviathan absorbed everything. It bent the shots around itself. It twisted gravity and redirected human fire back toward them. Several human ships exploded in bright flashes. Still the armada did not break. Admiral Ward gave a new order. Bring the gravity torpedoes online. Use pattern Black Sunday. The torpedoes were dangerous even for humans. They were unstable weapons made from artificial singularities. When launched, they pulled everything nearby into a crushing field of gravity. The torpedoes struck the Leviathan, slowing it for the first time. Its glowing surface cracked, revealing swirling energy beneath. For a moment, hope returned. Then the creature changed. Its body split open like a giant mouth, revealing a core of burning white light. The Leviathan released a shockwave so powerful it pushed the entire armada backward. Admiral Ward grabbed her chair and shouted, "Everyone hold the line. We cannot let this thing reach the inner systems." The humans were fighting with everything they had. But the Leviathan was growing stronger. And the real battle had only just begun. The Leviathan's shockwave pushed the human armada back like leaves in a storm. Ships spun out of formation. Engines flickered. Hulls cracked. But even in the chaos, Admiral Celeste Ward did not break. She stood firm on the bridge of the Horizon Breaker, watching the monster grow brighter, stronger, more dangerous. Her voice echoed with iron. "Reform the sphere. All ships, prepare for the last stand." Across the armada, human captains responded with steady voices. Even damaged ships dragged themselves back into position. Humans did not run. Not today. The Leviathan opened its glowing core again. A swirling mass of white energy gathered inside it, building toward a final devastating blast, one strong enough to erase the entire fleet. If that attack fired, humanity, and the galaxy, were finished. Ward understood this. She spoke slowly, calmly to every ship. "Listen to me. We stop it here. No matter the cost." The armada launched everything they had, ion spears, neutron lances, anti-star bombs, but the Leviathan absorbed them like dust. It moved through the firestorm, unstoppable, ancient, and angry. Ward turned to her officers. "Activate the singularity device." Everyone froze. The singularity device was the humans' most dangerous weapon, one they never wanted to use. It created a gravity tear so strong that even friendly ships could be destroyed. "Admiral, if we use it," an officer whispered, "our fleet?" "I know," Ward said softly. She stared at the Leviathan. She thought of the helpless planets behind her. She thought of the billions of lives depending on this moment. She gave the order. Begin the push. All ships, force the Leviathan into the rift zone. The Armada charged. Burning, broken, and battered, human ships surrounded the Leviathan and fired their engines at full power. The Leviathan fought back, ripping ships apart, bending metal, tearing holes in space. But the humans did not stop. One destroyer rammed its engines into the monster's side, pushing it a few meters. Another ship locked itself onto the creature with tractor beams, even as its hull melted. A third ship detonated its fuel tanks to shove the monster backward. Every meter cost lives. Every second cost ships. Ward watched with silent pain. Her people were giving everything. When the Leviathan reached the rift zone, Ward raised her hand. Singularity device. Fire. A black sphere of crushing gravity exploded into existence. Space folded inward. Stars bent. The Leviathan roared, its entire body twisting as the singularity dragged it toward the collapsing wormhole. The horizon breaker shook violently. Panels exploded. Lights faded. But the Leviathan continued to fall inward, piece by piece, until the singularity swallowed it whole. Then silence. Space became still again. Most of the Armada was gone. Only a few ships survived, floating like ghosts. Admiral Ward looked out at the wreckage. Tears filled her eyes, but her voice remained firm. The Leviathan is dead. Humanity still stands. But far beyond their sensors, in a dark corner of space, another gigantic eye slowly opened. And the true war was only beginning.